Okay, so Crown and Jules Frost against JJJ, who I believe are both, at the time of this game, 7th equal in the power rankings. I think we just heard the casters say that. So, very close game on paper. I expected Frost to come in and dominate, because I've been following them very closely. I am their coach, and I don't know, I was feeling pretty confident about this game. What happened to Kapow? They lost, as expected, in my opinion. My winner for the LAN, Flipside Tactics, assuming they don't get drunk and jet-lagged.
These guys have been in the competitive scene for a long time. Flarky, I guess you can kind of, I think it's closer.
We'll go with Flarky.
We'll go with Flarky.
Flark is
yes,
strange.
Flarky sounds way better than Flark.
Flark is a little bit less strange, so we'll go with that. I think JJJ squad, you know, they've been around a little bit longer than the players on Frost, so they're maybe a little bit more of a household name. But Frost won the previous the most recent Gfinity.
They didn't. They came second in Gfinity.
So these guys are hot right now. These two teams are really strong. Really excited to see how this matchup's going to go.
Don't know where Wavefront got that information from. Frost came second in Gfinity. They lost the final 4-3 to Supersonic Avengers. It was a very close series though. Frost were 3-2 up in games in a best of 7, then they lost the last 2 games. But Frost looking really strong coming into this. I thought they would qualify. The frame drops are not on my end, that's just the stream that I'm watching. The VoD has got some frame drops, so apologies for that.
So they don't want to give up any early goals because they don't really know exactly the kind of talent they're about to
wow.
go up against.
Oh, what a shot
that was like
there
a weird hit by Torix, but Sebedon was lurking in the back post.
Wow, this redirect
It's like V formation, Torix sitting on one side of the pitch, Sebedon on the other, Flarky deep in the middle. Really nice play. Somebody should have been there to save that for JJJ though. It's surprising if that went in.
That was an incredible shot. Frost really showing why they have made it this far. And what another shot coming out from Ryuk, man.
Violent Panda is probably killing himself right now. I mean, if he genuinely thought they were going to qualify, he's misleading himself. I'm sorry about the frame drops. Like I said, this is just on. This is just the VoD that I'm watching has some frame issues. It's not me. I'm not dropping any frames. We're just gonna have to persist. Bit of a YOLO challenge there from Sebedon. I would have liked to see Torix just. Oh, I would have liked to see Torix hit the ball straight down towards Sebedon because Sebedon landed in front of Torix here. Torix could have launched the ball straight down on top of Sebedon's head, but no problem. He just hits it towards Jazer, and Jazer just instinctively own goaling it. VoD seems a bit loud. Okay. I'll turn it down a little bit.
That is unfortunate there for Jazer, but
great own goal by Jazer. The chat spamming Jazer tutorial. Redirect tutorial in the chat. That's pretty good. It's a cracking own goal by Jazer. Again, like, both of those goals so far for Frost should have been defended by JJJ. I'm not quite sure what happened. Frost are probably just thinking, oh, that was easy. We're suddenly winning 2-0. Flarky getting forward way too early there. You notice how he kind of races into the box, then stops. He got there too soon.
They need to make sure that they score now. They've got 3 minutes left. Their rotations, I can tell they're getting more aggressive because they just actually had an open net. They almost let another goal sink in, but sometimes it's high risk, high reward at this point. They really need to start sinking in those shots to put.
Not sure what that was by Sebedon.
On the defensive.
He's rocking the beret.
Yeah, JJJ has been playing a very tight rotations.
How you doing, Blind Man Gamer? Nice to have you.
We've seen that already on the scoreboard. They're already down by 2. Ball in Frost territory.
Flarky, he didn't think that Jazer was even trying. I mean, I don't know. I've not spoken to Jazer.
Flarky kind of gets into a position and changes his mind, goes back down for it, leaves it there as Krasic gets the hit. That ball's on target. Tarix backflips. Jazer couldn't.
It's a great save by Seb.
I can't believe Sebedon was actually able to come and sneak that in.
Really well done by Sebedon. Torix backflips on the goal line. I think Torix is sitting in goal a bit too much. Sitting on the goal line too much. Not active enough in defense. Spending too much time sitting still. In 3v3 you generally want to be moving when you're defending. It's not good to just sit in the goal. Really close. Flarky hitting the crossbar and the post simultaneously. Where do I think Kapow will be in this week's power rankings? I think they should drop below Dutchman, Frost, JJJ, precision. I think they should go all the way to 9th probably. Like, it's a really close like bunch, so I think having a performance this poor and other teams having good wins, like Frost GFIN finals, going close with Mocket today in the RLCS quals, JJJ GFIN Tuesday finals, going further in RLCS than Kapow. Maybe you could justify leaving Kapow ahead of JJJ in the bracket, in the power rankings, but I wouldn't. I would put Kapow all the way to 9th because I don't think they've had any good wins in a long time. I really don't know why they're still 5th, to be honest. Dutchman should probably have been ahead of them a while ago. Hello, future YouTube. You're absolutely right. Wow. Okay. We're actually doing quite well there to smother that ball into the post, put it in an unscoreable position.
This JJJ squad, keeping this lead from expanding.
But yeah, going into this tournament, Precision Z, Crown Jewels, Frost, and JJJ were all 7th equal in the power rankings, so 7th, 8th, 9th being shared by 3 teams. And I think all 3 of those teams moving ahead of 5th place Kapow next week is perfectly acceptable, because they all had good results. Again, sorry for the frame drops. Maybe I should put the quality. I'll try high quality, see if that stops the frames. I love what Torix is doing there. He's just wasting time. He makes Jazer come in and commit because they're already winning. And a good hit by Flarky. Popping it high there is really useful because it gives his team time to get into position. That's a really good hit by Flarky again. So you can't really blame JJJ for overextending and leaving their net open. Yeah, Findable Carpet pointed that out in the cast, so
you have to think and not think at the same
I just tried to skip the replay by right-clicking. Whoops.
That slight hesitation, especially when you're all hyper-offensive, to make sure you can get these, try and close that gap in the goals. That's when still
how many hours roughly until season 3? I have no idea, my friend.
JJJ needs 3 just to force overtime.
Don't watch chat, you're missing things in the VoD. I love reading chat though. I watch both.
Ryuk dead at midfield, not really sure what he was doing there.
But I mean, the story of this game is 2 big defensive blunders by JJJ, giving Frost a 2-0 lead, and then JJJ really didn't have anything in the way of attack that Frost couldn't deal with. Frost were just very comfortable defending JJJ. And after the 2 goals that were conceded early, there was really no comeback possible.
I think individually they're trying to push themselves a little bit too much to secure those goals, when really they just need to work as a team right now, because Crown is all over the place. They've got
chat is the best part of my streams. Chat's a great aspect of my stream for sure.
Frost, apologies. They're getting in the way of a lot of they're slowing the pace down a bit. Sure. So
yeah, no, they were playing a slightly wider rotation and really being strong in goal. 5 saves coming out for this Crown and Jewel.
That's actually some good points in the cast. Frost were slowing down the play, forcing JJJ to come onto them because they already had the lead, and they were actually rotating wide. Wavepunk correctly identifying that Frost were they were never leaving their net open. They always had somebody rotating really deep to catch a hard clear. Turn the volume up slightly. All right, sure. Here we go.
They didn't have a lot of shots to have to block that were even threatening.
Rexio and Wasteland the other day, you asked is it really you? I get a lot of people ask if it's really me when I'm doing 1v1s for some reason. People are really, they find it hard to believe that they're against me in 1v1.
It could be the pressure, and they are against a team like Frost. You look at these 3 names, and it's a little bit stressful. But I mean, with the best of 3, you got to make sure you get to your game quick. Yeah, and I like the point you made in the middle of the last game where you were saying that Jazer just, he's going to run out of boost if he keeps on just trying to make it the one-man show. Really needs to allow his teammates to kind of step in and help him. See if they can step up some teamwork here in game number 2.
Flaky rushing that hit a little bit, but recovering and getting a good pass. This is like chaotic defending by JJJ. Torix probably had a chance to score there. I think he got a little bit too close. He crept in a bit too close, something that we've been seeing a lot.
Doesn't know what to do. I'm not sure what is going on with JJJ right now.
They're just making necessary touches.
Great pressure by Frost though. And Jazer missing that wall clear put Krzak in a horrendous position because nothing really Krzak can do here. I think preemptively jumping to try and predict the save is a mistake.
There was enough time for a player of this skill to react. Yeah, so his pre-jump was just a little too. He let it so early there that he let Flarky time to see. Oh, he went up. I can shoot down.
Why are you casting the ESL tournament that's going on at this moment? Why would I cast ESL? I've never casted ESL.
If they can win this one, they will move on. It'll be game over right now. I believe JJJ will be knocked down to lose.
That was a very lucky double touch by Ryuk.
In the blue box.
but no one really able to create the pressure.
I think Ryuk got surprised right there by Flarky's hit. That's a very good hit by Flarky.
Nice touch from Ryuk, keeping that away from Flarky. See if he can dribble us around and gets it over past one. Jazer and Ryuk up on the offense. Seven's up on the wall.
Have I ever tried a controller? Yeah, I just didn't enjoy it as much, so I didn't bother. Because to me, I just play it for fun. Tarek's trying to control the ball, missing it. Flarky coming to his rescue. I mean, JJJ don't really have the most creative attack, though. If they're not counter-attacking, JJJ never really look threatening. Because... Oh, that's a good knock-on by Flarky. Or not Flarky, it was Sebedum, I believe. They just don't... they don't pressure very well, JJJ.
Keeping that out of goal, keeping the lead from expanding. 3:32 left to go in the game.
I think their rotations are too wide in attack.
Makes a fool out of him and puts it in.
Oh, we didn't get to see this one on the camera. We were watching a demo attempt by Ryuk. Jazer's sideways. See, you never want to be sideways when you're defending because you can't, like, attack the ball, and you also have to, you have to react, basically. Jazer's had a lot of defensive misplays. But that was a good play by Flarky, very nice recovery. Of course, it's easier to do that on the Dominus because the Dominus doesn't wobble when you land on your wheels. One, bit of miscommunication there by Sebedum and Flarky, but it doesn't matter because another open net. Not sure why this is an open net. Why is that so wide open? Like, what? That's got to be a huge miscommunication to leave that much space behind them. Is there anything bad about ESL? Not particularly. Apart from that, I don't think they pay very early or at all. So, if you win, then don't expect prize money, I suppose.
Enough of a change in pace. If they can just keep the ball in Frost territory, but so far Frost's midline defense has been so strong. That's about the first time the ball's hit the backboard. Ryuk's shot goes wide. Now Flarky with ball control in the corner is going to pop it out. His teammates hang him back. They're playing
but I mean,
safe.
Frost are looking really good in defense, even though they have had a few misplays. Again, Flarky getting a little bit too close there before attacking the ball. Just a bit too close to the front of the field. But defensively, there's been a few misplays by Frost, but there's always somebody else there to sweep up the mess when a misplay does come in.
There's no one there to follow up. Like right here, you actually saw that someone was there on the wall. They're ready to follow up, and they actually now they're turning into an offensive opportunity. But here, no one was behind the ball. They weren't able to get it around. Thankfully, no one was contesting it, or they actually would have been a shot on goal.
Ball lofted at the very center of midfield. Sebedum and Tarks both up for that. Tarks' hit is good onto the back.
It's just a fairly uninspiring amount of pressure that JJJ are able to put out. They don't pressure very hard at all. They kind of sit back and invite teams onto them. Look how defensive they are right here. And again, Frost actually mirroring that defensive style, but they've got the 3-0 lead, so you can afford to be defensive in that position.
They are still shutting this Jazer squad out, even with the ball right in front of their own net.
JJJ is
what does JJJ stand for?
Best. They're trying to put the shots on goal. They're actually starting. It seems like they're working a little bit more together now. Jazer trying to push it towards the mid. On defense, that's usually a bit risky, but if your teammates are ready for it, it can turn into something cool. And there's a great demo coming from Frost to try and just prevent them from taking any more shots.
Minute and a half left, down by 3. This is not an impossible comeback by any means. It's about a goal every 30 seconds.
Flarky trying to get that ball to roll up the wall. Bit of a misplay, making it bounce off the wall into the middle.
Here's Ryuk. No one really home. That's a good shot. Is it going to fall? No. Tarks with the save.
You watched one of Jazer's videos versus Flipside, and they sounded really nervous. Yeah, I've not been very impressed by JJJ's comms when I've listened into their streams. They get very nervous and
oh, so close.
Very, very close.
That's a bit of a misplay by CNJ. They should not have 2 people in the goal. Somebody definitely shouldn't have been in the goal. Like, if there's already somebody in the net for your team, driving into the net behind him is a misplay. You should just hang out at the back post. As we saw right there, the ball went high over the goal, and both players were kind of in a bad position, not able to defend it. That's a really nice pass by Flarky, though. Well done.
After seeing that free stop from Jazer, it's looking like that they're just really conceding to Frost's good rotations. Yeah. I've talked a bit about what JJJ isn't doing, but what Frost is doing is kind of the exact opposite. They're putting themselves between the ball and their own net. So whenever it does get cleared, they're there. They're ready. They can counter.
Everybody in the chat saying Jazer freestyle tutorial. Jazer really taking a lot of flack right here. Chat can be a bit brutal sometimes.
Left in this game, but at this point it's almost over. That ball almost going in. That was about the closest thing to a shot we've seen from JJJ in a long time. There's another one, but a great save from Seven. Man, these guys in goal have been so strong. There, finally, Krasic breaks it. They're not going to get the full shutout in the series, even if they're going to still take the win.
We've seen a lot more pressure at JJJ.
Flarky not trusting Sebedum there, going up for the same save, and not able to recover to save Krasic's shot. Probably won't matter because they're already winning 4-1 with, what, less than 20 seconds to go.
Not what you want to do if you're going to have to react to a quick save.
18 seconds.
Did Frost qualify? No, they did not. They did not qualify. They came within a game of qualifying, then they lost and went to losers, and immediately lost the losers bracket as well.
Final countdown. Jazer passes it over.
Which is quite a big upset, to be honest, considering when you look at this game against JJJ and how comfortably they won it, they were looking pretty good.
Frost took both these games pretty
promising. What up, Snasky? How you doing, man? I thought there'd be a bit more of a fight coming. But a really quick 2-0 by Flarky, Sebedum, Torix. It's kind of what I expected. I didn't think the JJJ pressured the ball enough to really put any pressure on CNJ, which is exactly what happened. So this game went exactly as I expected. I was pretty happy because I am the coach for Crown and Jewels. I work a lot with these guys.
Great defense from this team, really, and amazing offense as well. Very good and efficient. Really cool display of just all-around team.
I'm really surprised that the casters thought that it was going to be so one-sided. Gibbs calling it 2-0. I don't know why he thought it was going to be 2-0. He said something about a Jazer freestyle tutorial on YouTube, and he was like, yeah, Jazer makes freestyle tutorials. They're probably going to win 2-0. I was like, what? Like, have you been looking at results recently? Like, up until today, they were even in the power rankings last week, and this week Frost have been outperforming JJJ for sure. So, I mean, they were definitely the favorites going into this, in my opinion. The Crown and Jewels team, which played in the qualifier #1, is a completely different Crown and Jewels than this time around. It was Stocky, Violent Panda, Killer, and Yeezy the first time around. That team is long gone. They've taken a complete revamp. They were just about able to get their act together in time to qualify. That was a great shot, but I don't know why the net's open. Looks like 2 people approaching back to the net at the same time for JJJ. That was just an end-of-game counter-attack. Not that big a deal. Great save by Sebedum right there.
It just felt like JJJ was not comfortable. They could not get into the flow.
How many teams I think will disband at the RLCS qualifiers are over? I expect every team that have no chance of qualifying will probably disband. Or start to like look for new options.
They seem to be a team that was comfortable, whereas JJJ, they were not. There were a lot of times.
I mean, time will tell. We'll see.
They were bumping each other. It was some of the chaos in front of net. It was an ugly game for JJJ.
One thing I noticed, like game 1, I thought it was like a circus almost from JJJ. They would just go up for like an aerial dribble, but it wouldn't go anywhere. They would just touch it 5 times in the same spot, and then Frost would just wait underneath and wait till they could attack it.
Yeah, very patient play by Frost. They just waited for JJJ to show the gap in their defense, and they capitalized. JJJ didn't have any like pressure at all, pretty much.
European teams is those passing plays, being able to spread out, just that game sense is really prominent.
But JJJ usually do better. They really struggle against top teams, and they do well against teams that are worse than them. So that's why I feel like JJJ struggle with Frost, because I just say Frost are just a better team right now. JJJ very much a team that just usually beat teams that are worse than them and never make upsets happen. I don't think JJJ have made any upsets in my memory. I mean, they beat Kapow in a Gfinity, but that wasn't really an upset because I think Kapow are on the way down.
It just did not matter. They kept shutting them down.
Likely a few player shuffles happening in the coming weeks? Yeah, I would expect so. Also, what's the deal with players being allowed to join? Like, you know, moving from the qualifier to the group stage, are players allowed to, are teams allowed to like get more players into the roster, or are the rosters locked? Like, qualifier players have to play the groups, or can you bring new players in? JJJ beat IBP in the ESPN thingy. I think that says more about IBP than it does about JJJ.
By the defense, and really we did not see that from JJJ. Gibbs was right. We saw a lot of half-field dumps going towards the net that got dealt with. We did see some really good saves, especially the one from Tarix, but most of them were just not big threatening moves on the offensive side.
Rosters are locked? Interesting. I think that's the fair way to do it.
That was something that Carpet alluded to quite a bit. kept saying
fair
that
way to do it.
JJJ, They hesitated to make those plays. They had an
I'm pretty happy with how
opportunity,
pretty much everything RLCS related has been handled. The only thing that I didn't really agree with was how they seeded the qualifier 2. Like, you giving teams like Effort and Precision Z,
Figuring out like when to pass
like
the
teams
key.
that
It
did
seemed like
badly in the last group stage, giving them like seeding
every
priority
ball
over
was a
Supersonic
shot in net when
Avengers,
you could've went back
JJJ,
to
Crown Jewels
like,
Frost,
says, you don't have to shoot on net,
like
but at the
teams
same
who
time,
are
you
higher
go
than them in the
back and have a
rankings.
teammate fly in, and that's a much more,
I guess like the biggest surprise
that's a
is
harder shot
teams
to
like
save,
Solid and
and
Effort being given such good seeding when they've like really fallen off since qualifier 1.
That's not as desirable
like really
as
fallen off.
putting it doesn't even have to be on net, just in a spot where he has to come out to make the hit, and it's not.
And that's
gonna
what
be
makes
easy
brackets
bounce
like this, or bracket situations like this happen,
yeah,
where
and a
you've
lot of
got
times hesitation, you
like
see
a
that
big,
when a team is just not comfortable.
like this
Because they're not
this
comfortable,
segment
they're not
here is
sure
just a
if their
very, very,
teammate's going for it or if they
like there's
should.
no
When you're
standout
losing
team
the ball
here
like that,
at
you're
all.
always playing catch up.
There's no Mucket
That's
EU,
what
there's no
that's
Supersonic
what it's
Avengers, there's no The Flying Dutchman.
You know, just
Like
also
really,
when you talked about the,
I think that you should have had a
right?
team
I mean,
like
a goalie's gonna see that
JJJ
one
or
from
Frost
a
in
mile
there,
away. So, or dare I say,
and you would probably see them win the whole thing. Like, well, you'd probably see them just beat all those teams.
a kilometer.
Yeah, I don't know.
Half a kilometer away. Anyway, cringe aside.
That one didn't work.
Whatever, man. I tried. Okay, look, I don't know.
Or even
math.
just
It's
like not
early.
having
It's
SA and
early.
Kapow in
You
the
act
same
like I know math.
bracket. If
Okay?
Kapow hadn't
It's
fallen
like
off so
no one
far,
knows math.
No,
Yeah.
no.
This is the
like
problem.
this would have been a
Honestly,
really
as-
interesting one.
as
We would have had
the
Kapow
local
versus
commentators,
Supersonic
I said, I
Avengers,
want
which could have been
guys
really,
who
really
have
close
zero
if Kapow didn't
mathematics
fall off so
skills.
far.
Brody was number
And then
and
Mucket,
Elite
CJ
was
Frost
the
is
number
obviously
one guy.
like a
Anyway,
really
all
really
right,
close
guys, so
game.
when we come
Very
back,
good
we're gonna have
teams.
plenty more EU Rocket League action here at the RLCS studio.